Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. And shortly after I come home from work, I'm sitting there chilling and just browsing the internet and all that kind of stuff. And lo and behold, the time has come, and the most winningest Call of Duty player ever, professional Call of Duty player, has officially retired. And he also just happens to be my favorite player. I've been watching him for quite a long time, and you know, there was once upon a time in the first 6 years or so where this channel was solely dedicated to Call of Duty and commentaries and stuff like that. And ever since I actually found out about the pro scene, I've been kind of watching ever since. And how it started was Marka J mentioned Scump as being the greatest Call of Duty player in the game in one of his videos. And after that, I looked up Scump, and then I started finding out more about the pro scene, more about the players and stuff like that. And a new world of Call of Duty was pretty much revealed to me. And ever since then, I've kind of been watching off and on. And let's just say, at the very least, whenever a COD Champs is coming up, I like to be aware of, where things are at. And if I've got time, I'll watch it, especially if the players that I'm familiar with or fans of are playing. Then I like to watch and see what goes on. And I'm always impressed by the professional players, man, both in Halo and Call of Duty alike, or actually any gaming professional player. And it's incredible just how skilled you can get with these games when you really are the top 1%, man. And this guy, according to his latest video that I just finished watching before I started doing this commentary, according to him, he's been competing for like 16 years, and he is 29 years of age. And he pretty much doesn't know anything else. He's won more tournaments than anybody else. He's won 3 Call of Duty championships, a total of 38 tournaments, $1.4 million in earnings. And a lot of those earnings were actually also back when the earnings are not where they are now. You got kids nowadays that are making 6 figures in salary a year. And that's not including their streams. That's not including their tournament winnings. It's not including sponsorship and endorsements. So, like, Crim is one of those OG players that literally paved the way. And he's got a very unique story. Like, when he was originally in Call of Duty, I believe, and then he went on to Halo to play Reach for a little while, and then he came back to Call of Duty. And it was before Black Ops 2 came out, and nobody wanted to play with him because he wasn't very good when he made the transition over back. And then, but Aches had faith in him. Aches saw something. And Aches was right. When Black Ops 2 came out, Crim played the game more than anybody, according to Aches. And no other pro wanted to play with Crim, right? And then he dedicated, like, he played Black Ops 2 more than anybody else. And the next thing you know, Crim starts getting nasty. Like, obviously in the gameplay in the background over here is from his montage or whatnot. So he's got a Crimsix. Just look up Crimsix the movie. You'll see like all 45 minutes of it. I highly recommend you do, for those of you guys that haven't. It's very well edited, and it's got like its highlights. And especially in his prime, like during the days of Black Ops 2 and Ghosts, this guy was fucking destroying people. He was melting everybody. Like, and like, all the pros respected him. And back during the complexity days, and obviously in the optic days and stuff like that. So this guy has been one of the major players, definitely, since Black Ops 2 and beyond. And like I said, he's paved the way for what competitive. He's one of the major guys that have paved the way for what Call of Duty competitive is today. Granted, a lot of things have changed. The mentality has changed, which is obviously one of the things that's very difficult, especially the mentality of today's younger generation compared to like the kind of mentality that he has, or that players like Scump have, or Karma, just to name a few, Clayster, Aches, all these guys. It's a lot different now. And it's, it is what it is. And in his latest video, he mentioned that, it's time, and time always wins. And he's right. To quote Rocky Balboa in Creed, time takes everybody out. It's undefeated. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I'll be 38 in less than a week. And I can tell you from a physical standpoint, 38 doesn't quite feel like 28. And yeah, my knees and my back, from what I've done to them over the years, are quick to remind me at times. Whether it's whenever I'm gaming in long sessions, or when even at the gym sometimes, or whenever I do certain maneuvers, or even when I decide to every once in a while, relive the glory days of martial arts and kind of throw a few kicks here and there, my body quickly reminds me. And and one of the things I tell myself, man, I shouldn't have jumped as many times as I did when I weighed 235 when I was coming up in the martial arts world, man. I did way too many freaking jump kicks for a 235 pounder, that's for sure. But hey, that's the way it is. You do it anyway, you live it, you enjoy it, and then it's just the way the cookie crumbles, man. But yeah, all in all, though, yeah, the time really is undefeated. But the thing is, when one chapter closes, a whole bunch more have the opportunity to open. Right now, I mean, basically, Crim can focus on his marriage. He can focus on doing the kind of content he wants to make, doing the things that he wants to do, and the things that he loves to do. He can be his own boss 100%. And he's more than earned the right to basically, like, completely, if he wanted to, completely turn his back on the Call of Duty scene, because he's already put in more time than so many other players and stuff like that. And again, when you're the top 1%, and when you're playing as much as this guy has in his career and everything like that, and it gets harder as you get older, especially after you reach a certain age, it's not easy. I mean, I can only imagine what it's like to grind as a pro player when I've done a handful of 10-hour streams, right? And I could tell you without a shadow of a doubt, even though I enjoyed the living shit out of those streams, much to my surprise, especially when I first did it, I was exhausted. Like, I was exhausted. I was like, it's not like I never played a 10-hour gaming session before, but it just kind of hits differently when you're on stream, or if there's somebody or maybe a couple people in your stream. Not many people come to my streams, obviously. But the thing is, whether I've got like 2 or 3, or whenever I have 10, which, or somewhere along those lines, if you stream for a long ass time, you will feel it. It's exhausting. And I can't imagine what that must be like, doing it on a daily basis. And on top of that, you got scrims, and then you're working out strategies with your team, and you're doing that day in and day out for 9 months out of the year or some shit like that. That is hard. And on top of that, it is competitive as a motherfucker. Plus there's social media, and then there's competitions, traveling, content creation. It's obviously a dream, but at the same time, even that dream has a price. I can tell you right now, whether you're a person that is doing something that they absolutely love all the time, or whether you're doing something that you absolutely hate all the time, for a living, okay, right? Even that has a price. It's good to kind of mix. You doing the same thing too much, too often is not good, and at the end of the day. So if it really comes down to all about being about balance. If you're too off balance for too long, there's a price to pay. So, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't pick and choose. It doesn't discriminate against that. There is a price to pay. And, another thing I got to say is that I really appreciated this guy's mentality. He had, the mentality of a winner, because, when you look, if you've seen some of the interviews and stuff like that, or if you even see the way he talks and the way he approaches things or whatnot, and, a lot of these new generation kids hate his ass because it's like, he's not going to hold anything back. He's going to tell you how it is, whether you like to hear it or not. A lot of people hate him for that. And it's like, okay, whatever, his generation, a lot different, a little bit harder. So the thing is that, these guys have the mentality of a winner. Like, even looking back at Kobe Bryant, or even looking back at Michael Jordan, one of the things, if you told these people that they couldn't do something, it was basically like throwing gasoline into the fire, man. And they would prove you wrong. And on top of that, they wouldn't stop until they proved you wrong. And it would just add fuel to their fire. I remember from the Last Dance documentary, Michael Jordan even ended up making up a scenario in his mind that actually did not exist, just so that way he could find that extra fuel to motivate himself to go after these people, other than just that, like, hey, go after them. It's like he gave himself a reason that he completely made up. A lot of times things actually did happen, but there was one point in time where he actually made up an incident to where, a good player from the other team basically told him, hey, nice game, Mike, after they lost, after they won, after they beat the Bulls. And then, he made that scenario up in his head, and it got it to a point where it became personal. And that's when Mike played his best. So it's like he found out how to use his mind and his body. And it's like, this is, these kind of things are the mentality of a winner, man. So, I can certainly appreciate that. And after so many years of competing and everything like that, I mean, there's only one esports player. There's only one professional video game player, to my knowledge, that has won more tournaments than Crim did, and that's Ogre 2, Tom Ryan, the Halo player, the retired Halo player, who has won 40 total tournaments, but still 38, 3 major championships, $1.4 million in earnings, especially when in the beginning the prizes aren't where they are today. Definitely the numbers don't lie. The numbers certainly don't lie. The consistency doesn't lie. The amount of tournament wins don't lie. You know, the players that have played with and against you, you know, they won't lie. The montages that are found on the internet, such as the one you're watching here, you know, those don't lie either. You know, it speaks for itself, and you did good, man. If there's a 1 in a billion chance you happen to be watching this, you did good. And you know, for somebody that's been basically dedicating this channel to Call of Duty and watching him off and on, whether it was every once in a while whenever I tune in on tournaments, or just watching montages, or just interviews here and there, or every once in a while tuning into his channel or whatnot, I can certainly appreciate the grind, man. It's certainly something that is to be commended. So all I can say right now is, Crim, enjoy your life, enjoy all the new opportunities that come your way on your own terms. Enjoy the time that you have, the freedom that you have, being your own boss. You know, maybe start a family if that's what you want to do, spend more time with the wife and all that kind of stuff, and just enjoy the hell out of the ride. And sure, in the beginning it's scary after all this change, but later on it'll be more exciting because the sky is the limit. So I think if you were to take advantage of that like you did in Call of Duty, you are going to succeed with flying colors. But anyway, that's all I got for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care.